The royal family may be Great Britain's traditional rulers, but it's just as accurate to say that tradition rules the royal family. From their formal hats at the annual Royal Ascot horse races to the pomp and circumstance of state banquets, the sovereign lifestyle is an endless series of rituals and rules. Royal engagements are governed by strict protocol, says veteran royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams, adding that the family collectively performs some 3,000 public engagement a year. Hello and welcome to Royal Scandal. Please do well to like, subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell so as not to miss out on any news updates. Still, although they're scripted down to the second, the decorum required at royal functions may not be as rigid as you imagine. There is a myth that if you meet a member of the royal family you are required to curtsy or bow. Absolute nonsense, says Dickie Arbiter, royal commentator and former press secretary to the Queen. The same goes for the notion that you shouldn't speak to Her Majesty before she speaks to you. When people are confronted by the Queen they become so tongue-tied she actually asks a question first to get the ball rolling, he adds. Breaches of protocol aren't common, but when they do occur, such as when a woman wrapped the Queen in an impromptu bear hug during her visit to Washington, D.C., in 1991, the royals handle it with aplomb. Very little offends the Queen, says Arbiter. She's been around too long for that. Still, as Fitzwilliams notes, the mystique of the monarchy is linked to ritual. The royal family maintains its national position and global popularity in large part through its legendary devotion to the many colorful, and sometimes quirky, traditions explained here. One of the many benefits to being a royal, having 2 birthday parties a year. Although she was born on April 21, Queen Elizabeth II, like monarchs before her, celebrates her official birthday on a Saturday in June with the Trooping the Color Parade. The tradition dates back to 1748 when King George II feared it would be too cold for a parade on his November birthday, so he decided to combine it with an annual June march before his loyal subjects. Ever since, the reigning monarch has opted for the same. To make sure the annual Trooping the Color Parade goes off without a hitch, the military regiments prepare with a rehearsal called the Colonel's Review the week prior. Royal family members arrive on horseback and in carriages to watch some 1,400 soldiers, 200 horses, and 400 musicians parade through London streets lined with flag-waving crowds. Over the years, the Buckingham Palace balcony has been the place for royals to see and be seen for official ceremonies including Trooping the Color. Queen Victoria started the tradition in 1851, during the Great Exhibition. Today the guest list includes about 30 family members, with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip taking center stage, surrounded by heirs. While there are no designated spots for members of the family, the first and second in line to the throne plus their wives and children, are always grouped around the Queen. When a pregnant Kate watched the festivities in 2013, many were reminded of Diana's 1982 appearance, when she was expecting her first son. They've got the best seats in the house. The parade ends with a flyby of RAF jets viewed by members of the royal family from the Buckingham Palace balcony. Number 2. State Opening of Parliament. The centerpiece of the royal calendar, this procession kicks off the parliamentary year, usually in May or June. In a fun twist, as the Queen arrives at the Palace of Westminster in a carriage escorted by the household cavalry, the royal household takes a member of Parliament as hostage to ensure her safe return. The practice dates to Charles I, who was beheaded in 1649 during hostilities between the monarchy and Parliament. These days, the symbolic abductee is entertained at Buckingham Palace and released at the conclusion of the ceremony. Number 3. Remembrance Day. Each November 11th, royals lay wreaths at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, commemorating veterans who died in British wars. Custom dictates that the wreath layer walk up 3 steps to the monument then return backward down the 3 steps. In 2017, the Queen turned the tricky duty over to her son Prince Charles. There was a little bit of a stumble in 2016, says Arbiter. At age 91, you are going to err on the side of caution. The remembrance poppy was inspired by the World War I poem In Flanders Fields, which refers to the red flowers as the first to bloom in the churned-up earth of soldiers' graves in Flanders, a Belgian province on the war's western front. Number 4. Waterloo Ceremony. Here's one for the history buffs. In 1815, led by the 1st Duke of Wellington, the British Army defeated Napoleon's forces at the Battle of Waterloo. Ever since, the reigning Duke of Wellington symbolically pays the rent to the monarchy for his Grand Stratfieldsaye house in Hampshire by travelling to Windsor Castle and, on bended knee, presenting the Queen with a French flag to signify the victory. Number 5, Royal Ascot. It's off to the races. Founded in 1711 by Queen and Ascot Racecourse draws huge crowds each summer, especially for the Royal Ascot, a week's worth of races in June that marks one of the highlights of the British social calendar. No monarch has enjoyed the tradition as much as the current Queen, who has owned and bred horses most of her life. In fact, when her horse took the Gold Cup event in 2013, she became the first reigning monarch to win in the history of the race, and reportedly wept tears of joy at the feat. For most, the 5-day event is more about what attendees are wearing than which horses are winning. Guests scramble for an outfit that will stand out but still abide by the dress code. Dresses must fall just above the knee or longer, and all straps should be 1 inch wide or greater. Hats range from classy to brassy, depending how fiercely you want to compete with Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice, who are known for their flamboyant taste in headwear. Number 6, Royal Maundy Service. As part of a ritual likely dating to the 13th century, 3 days before Easter on Maundy Thursday, Holy Thursday, the Queen passes out specially minted sets of coins to elderly citizens. Representing alms for the poor, Maundy money is considered a prized keepsake rather than pocket change, and the number of recipients corresponds to the Queen's age. Number 7, St. Patrick's Day. Calling all the royal ladies. Continuing a practice that began in 1901, a female member of the royal family visits the 1st Battalion Irish Guards at the St. Patrick's Day parade to present sprigs of shamrock to the officers and guardsmen. Kate took over the tradition from Princess Anne in 2012, but the Duchess ruffled some feathers when she had her husband, William, fill in for her at the 2016 event. Guess you shouldn't send a man to do a woman's job. Number 8, Order of the Garter. Who says chivalry is dead? During his medieval reign, King Edward III was so inspired by tales of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table that he set up his own group of distinguished knights, the Order of the Garter. Today, the order remains the most exclusive in Britain and includes the Queen, several senior members of the royal family, and 24 knights, male and female, who have been chosen for their outstanding public service. Number 9, Christmas Holiday. A mix of formal events and family gatherings, the holidays signal a jam-packed schedule for the royals. The festivities kick off on Christmas Eve at Sandringham Estate, as guests arrive in the afternoon and join the Queen and Prince Philip for tea and snacks in the White Drawing Room. That evening, the family also exchange presents. Just don't expect anyone to be unwrapping the crown jewels. It's been reported that the clan favors silly gag gifts. Following church service on Christmas morning, the royals return home to watch the Queen's Christmas message to the nation at 3 p.m., followed by an evening of puzzles, games and movie night in the ballroom. Royals, they're almost like us. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.